Hello everybody, this video is going to be about the views feature on ClickUp. So this is basically these little options that's above your list and the different views that you can add. So let's take a look at what this feature is actually about. So as a beginner or as a person who first logs into their ClickUp, you would really wonder what these really are. So initially I thought that these are uh, different lists that you can create. So you have your list, you have your calendar, you have your Gantt and whatnot. So I was a little bit confused. When you go through the documentation and when you later experiment and explore, you will understand that these different views are basically different ways of organizing the same thing that's on your list or that's basically in or on your ClickUp. So the same things you'd see on the list is the same things you'd see on the board or on the Gantt or on the table. So they're not different. So if you firstly understood the hierarchy of ClickUp, that is how the space and how the folders and how the lists or items work, you would later understand how it's basically different ways of looking at the same thing. So that's basically in a nutshell what views are. It's the same thing organized in a different way and looking at it in a different way, but there's definitely pros and cons of using particular views, and there's definitely a pro in having different views. So let's get started. As a beginner ClickUp user, you would obviously see the list first. So it wouldn't essentially be like this. You would have a much smaller list, or you wouldn't have any tasks in your list. So uh, for this particular video, I am working with these uh, fields. I have a start date, due date, and a custom field called task type, um, so that I can show you how things work with different views. So the first view would be a list, and you can see how this list is grouped by status. So I can group it by other different fields too, like the task type that I had initially added. So you can see how each and every task is grouped by its custom task type. And then you can also group it by priority. So now I have only added one. I have only added the priority for one single task, so the rest is no priority. So these are different ways you can essentially organize your view or group it based on how you want it to be. The same goes to the board. So generally a Kanban board is organized based on its status. You can always organize it in a different way. For example, again, task type. You can see how each individual task has its own task type, and thereby you can see it over here. uh, yeah, so and then let's take a look at the calendar. So the calendar and the Gantt obviously need a start date and end date for each and every task or item you add. Only then you'll be able to see them in your calendar or task. So what you're looking at here is a month-wise breakdown. So I can go a week-wise breakdown. I can't technically do an year-wise breakdown. If you click on today, it will take you to the today's date, that is the 31st. So let's say I go all the way in June, and if I go back to today, it will take you back to today. If I zoom out a little bit, I can see today. And the same with Gantt. You can see how the different tasks are organized and how the different colors indicate the completion of or the progress of each and every task. And you can zoom out to further see all the tasks in a single view. This is the table view. I'm not really sure when a table view will be useful, but if it is useful for your particular needs, you can obviously set it up. Now see, these are the views that's already available for you. Let's say you want to create another, or let's say you have this board, but you also want another board with the same tasks in it. So you can just, it's a matter of adding another view uh, like that. And obviously, instead of calling it a board, you can call it uh, grouped by uh, we can just call it task type, and you can bring it a little close to the other board, and you can also maybe pin it. There you go, you've pinned it, and it has also saved it. So you have two boards now. You have the board that obviously you have to make it a little different and make sure you save it. So there you go, two boards for the same list, or for the same list of items. You can do the same with the list too. So you can duplicate the view based on whatever type of view you want. Yeah. um, so that's a little bit about the basic views that you have on ClickUp. So we did cover what the different essential views are, and we also covered the duplicate views where you can have the same view but different particular needs. Let's also take a look at dashboards really quickly, because that is also an essential view that most people would want. So if you click on dashboard here, now I yes, I don't really have a dashboard yet, but you can see how these options are only available for the business suite. So I will create a simple dashboard, and I will pin that to saved. So you can see how creating that single dashboard automatically fetched all the data in this particular list, and created the dashboard for you. So you can delete cards that are not essential for you and really organize the dashboard. um, Let me go add a card, workload by status. The other feature that will be useful when working with views is the search feature in the view itself. So you can see how the dashboards don't have it, how the boards, lists, calendars, Gants, and the tables have this little search bar at the top right corner. So, and you can see how these three dotted lines show search in task name, task description, and custom fields. So sometimes you might be a user who has a lot of tasks in their list or in their board and whatnot. So you can use the search bar to search for the particular task based on the view that you are in. So for example, when I'm in this board, I can type task 9, and you would see the task 9 only being filtered and visible. But if you do the same on the calendar view, you wouldn't see it because you are on the month of January. But if you go to February, you would see it. Similarly on the Gantt too, and on the table too. If I search for task 9, just that appears. So I think this is also a useful feature when you're working with individual views and you can't seem to find a particular task because you're managing a lot of items. With that, I have reached the end of this video. I hope you guys understood and received a brief and a quick understanding of what the views are on ClickUp and how to use them. Do let me know if you have any questions or uh, doubts or queries or anything like that in the comments below. Don't forget to leave this video a like, and also subscribe for more ClickUp and other uh, relevant content that might be useful for you. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.